Good day, Chicago. I'm Corey McPherrin.
And I'm Anna DeBlantis. Do you find yourself attracting the wrong sort of people in your life? Do your friends do the same thing?
We have an expert joining us next who calls this the human magnet syndrome. He can tell us how to stop it. In a minute. The wrong people in your life? Do you have that one friend that's always dating the wrong guy? Well, therapist Ross Rosenberg says there may be a scientific reason for that. He calls it the human magnet syndrome, and that's the name of your book as well, right?
Yes.
Ross, thanks for being here. We appreciate it. So what are we talking about here when we talk about human magnet syndrome? It sounds kind of cool, but what are you saying?
Well, in my book, it talks about why dysfunctional opposite individuals such as codependents who are all about other people's needs are always attracted, magnetically if not reflexively attracted, to someone who's all about their own needs. Narcissists, or what I call emotional manipulators.
All right. And are you saying, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, when we have a dysfunctional relationship, that means both people are not practicing mutuality, they're not being fair to each other, and the codependent always gives without receiving, and the narcissist or the emotional manipulator always takes without giving. That's dysfunctional. That is not a healthy relationship.
So how do you really know? I mean, is there some sort of a checklist you need to look at and fill out to know exactly where you stand on one side or the other? I mean, how do you know for sure?
Well, unfortunately, our relationship choices are done unconsciously, they're reflexively, which is why I call it the human magnet syndrome. We are magnetically almost attracted to an opposite personality type. And the codependent feels so perfect with someone who takes and makes everything about them, and the person who is the narcissist feels so perfect with the person the codependent, and that happens automatically and reflexively. And the way to solve that is to be aware of your psychopathology, or for example, your codependency, which is why therapists such as myself help these couples break free from these relationship patterns.
I mean, I see it all the time. I hear people talking about, I can recall my own experience, you know somebody and they keep dating the wrong guy or the wrong woman again and again and again, just making terrible mistakes. You must see that in your practice as well.
Of course. What happens is if we are born to parents who have psychological problems, if you are born to an emotional manipulator or pathological narcissist, early on your relationship template is formed, and you tend to repeat that pattern as an adult by the partners you choose, and it's what we call a transgenerational pattern. It goes from generation to generation, and until you do the psychological work, until you look at yourself and understand you're not taking care of yourself, then the pattern persists.
All right, aside from going to someone like you, an expert in the field, what can anybody do short of that to sort of, kind of figure it out?
Well, I suggest is to be honest with yourself. I myself am a recovering codependent. I have been in dysfunctional relationships. I've been divorced. And the best thing you can do is be honest with yourself that you're not happy, that you're not getting what you need. And that is the very first step, is to reach out to someone, because you can't get help if you don't understand the problem. And that is why my book is so important. It explains the problem. It illustrates something that to most people is invisible.
Exactly. We appreciate being here, Ross. The Human Magnet Syndrome is the name of the book. Great to meet you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for having me on.
All right. And over to you.